Welcome to your doom. Shut it and get over here. Massive uppercut!
Hello and welcome to another edition of the JabJab Show. Today I'm reviewing the movie Ghost in the Shell. This is the remake. If it sounds a bit weird during this review, I've had for the past few days one of my bottom teeth has been hurting a little bit. It's got a little bit sticking out on the inside, and my tongue subsequently has been rubbing against it, and I've got a bit of an ulcer and so on. So I've had to kind of accommodate that by talking a bit weird and eating a bit weird, because it's hurting a little bit. But anyway, that's, just get that out of the way, just to let you know. Anyway, any dentists out there, please let me know. I'll see what's best. Anyhow, so this film is directed by Rupert Sanders. He's probably best known for directing Snow White and the Huntsman that came out a few years ago. It's a remake of the 1995 manga of the same name, which in itself was adapted from a bunch of manga comics. It stars Scarlett Johnansson, Pilou Asbaek. I'm not sure how you say his name, so I'm sorry Pilou Asbaek, if you're watching, I apologise. Takeshi, Kitano, Juliette, Binoche and Michael Pitt. So the story is set in the near future in a fictional part of Japan. Scarlett Johnansson plays a character called Major, who's kind of a first of a kind in that she was saved from a really bad accident, and she was her brain as a result was transplanted to a fully synthetic body. She now works as a cyber enhanced soldier in order to take out criminals, terrorists and things like that. In the story in the film, she's put onto a case, and she finds out things along the way about herself and makes her question her own existence. So cyborg shenanigans ensue. I probably feel the same way as like a lot of the fans of the original 95 animation. As we're going into this, there's a lot of concern, when there's a live action adaptation of what's known to be a defining film in manga and so on. I mean, I love this film, the original. It was one of the reasons I got into manga and anime back in the late 90s. Don't get me wrong, it took me a few watches before I kind of got to grips with the story of all. But what immediately struck me was just the sheer awesome kind of animation style. I was just in awe of it. The way things are drawn, the character designs, and how complex it is. This is not like a princess film or that kind of like simplified Disney film. This takes time to kind of grasp. You really need to kind of focus and stuff watching it and so on. It's so different from what I had been exposed to, like, animation wise. Before then. What strikes me, like I say, with the character designs and the whole place of architecture of all the weird and wonderful machines and so forth, was like there's moments in the film where it just takes stock of moments. There's just moments where there's nothing happening story wise. There's just music and there's still imagery, and the way it just like allows itself to breathe. And I'd never seen anything like that in an animation before. It just struck me as just beautiful, to be honest. There's a lot of great imagery in there, something like just that wow factor. It's just one of the things that struck me. So I didn't know all this, I was thinking, how the heck could a film of this, even now with today's visual effects and whatever, how can it possibly kind of replicate everything in here? I think they've got to throw a lot of money at it really to do it justice. So when the first trailer came out for this, this remake, to me it looked okay. It looked like they got a lot of the kind of set pieces and a lot of the style of the shooting and so forth. The tone of it looked okay, like true to the original and so on. This is my double box set, if you will. Ghost in the original, Ghost in the Shell and Ghost in the Shell 2 Innocence. It's also really good. I like that one. That's for another video, perhaps. See, there's a cover I've got. I have had this on DVD and video in the past, but it's got that image of her on there. See a little bit more on the cover, shall we say. If you look on the back of it, it shows you various stills and whatever. This is, when this is in motion on the animation, it's beautiful. I was taken aback by how awesome and detailed it is. I mean, this is one of the reasons these kind of things in this film and other mangas and other anime and other Japanese, that kind of thing, lets me fall in love with this kind of thing, because this is stunning work, as it says on the back. It's by James Cameron, no less. You know that fella. Yeah, so this is all really good. Box set. I think you can Blu-ray and so forth. I was always going to watch this remake, don't get me wrong. But I've been saying all that, I still had a lot of apprehension when I went in to watch the film. But in my opinion, the film did a really good rendition of the manga. Film trailers down the years, as we know, can be very deceiving. But for me, this wasn't the case. The film looks amazing. The creation of Major when she's being made is pretty much spot on to how it happens in the original. And there's a lot of other sequences as well that's very good, replicated really well. The whole world, it just looks so well realised. The buildings, the fashion, the wall-to-wall kind of advertising and so forth, and the character designs, all so really well fully realised. Even the stuff at night, it does kind of remind me of Blade Runner and so on. As I said, it took me a few watches of the original before I finally got to know what the story's about and so on. There's a lot of things happening. So when it came to watching this remake, it helped me along because obviously it shares a lot of similar storylines and so forth. So I watched this new one with my partner who had no prior knowledge of what Ghost in the Shell is or anything. Just said it looked interesting by the trailer. But by the end of the film, she's a bit confused by it all, and because the original does demand your attention, and there's a lot of things going on, like I say, a lot of layers and things happening, so to speak. So, and I do feel this remake, it does a pretty good job of replicating all that, but it does have a bit more exposition, a bit more explanation, information about certain things. Certainly at the start of the film, I'm guessing just to kind of ease people into it a little bit more than the original does. The whole term Ghost in the Shell is explained a bit more explicitly, which I didn't mind. It's just I find it notable that they did that, but I feel it's probably if you're not all fake with the whole Ghost in the Shell thing, you might come out of it a bit kind of what's going on here. You can't keep track of who's doing what and why and so forth. And to me, it makes sense. The whole story, how it rattles on, it makes sense. It doesn't go on any kind of illogical detours or anything. But that's my opinion. So if if you're new to the film, if you haven't seen, I don't know, Ghost in the Shell before you watch this, let me know down below. Anyway, if this is you. Thanks so much how this film retained the idea of what it means to be human. As the story progresses, Major finds out more and more about her past and things she can't remember and things she shouldn't be able to remember. It's all done really well. And also its treatment of the technology of the near future. Remember back in 1995, this sounded really science fiction, really out of the realms of possibility. This is a bit from the back of the the first film, the blurb, so to speak. The year is 2029. The world is made borderless by the net. Nearly all of humanity is cybernetically augmented and able to roam between both the real and virtual environments. Now, obviously, we're not quite there yet, in 2017, but who knows? This film does a really good job at building on that, in terms of having most of the characters within the story having some kind of synthetic augmentation. But I don't know, maybe this can be used as the next step of the cosmetic surgery, the facelifts and nose jobs and other things you can do. Obviously, in the world we live in, a celebrity culture, the way society and media, viewers and so on, so for me, it's not out of the realms of possibility that this kind of technology could be used for that kind of thing. I can understand it being used for medical purposes, but maybe just people with a lot of money want to have a new such and such, they can use it, if they got the money and so on. I've not looked loads into this technology, so any scientists down there who are currently working on this kind of thing, just let me know down below in the comment section. How far away are we from this kind of thing to be commonplace as it is shown in the film? The music for the film is great. I love it. It fits the film really well. And they've taken the opening scene music from the original and put it onto the credits of this film, which is a nice touch. But I like the synth sound, and that's part of it. Also reminds me of the Tron Legacy soundtrack, which I also love. In terms of acting, I felt it was really good. There's been a lot of controversy with the casting of Scarlett Johnansson here. I didn't mind it personally, and even Mamoru Oshii, the director of the original, defended her being cast. I'm not really going to dwell on this. I'm just saying people have opinions and so forth. If you have a different opinion than mine, that's fine. Comment below and all the rest of it. Let's just have a clean fight. I also like Pilou Asbaek as Batu as well. He's good fun to watch, and he's a major partner on the various cases they're working on. Their relationship is it's pretty much the same as it is in the original. They don't and I'm glad they didn't kind of ruin it by going down certain routes. And I feel a special mention should go to Michael Pitt as Kuz, or Kuze. You know, I'm not going to spoil anything here, but you know, maybe there's a few little misdirections about his character along the way, and you know, as he encounters Major, he plants certain seeds into her head, you know, like makes her think, which is like makes it more complex and so on, which is good. But overall, I like this film a lot. The pacing does dip now and again, you know, scenes when Major's finding out stuff about herself and so on. And this isn't a direct remake, you know, there's a few things changed here and there, maybe to make it more palatable to us Western audiences, like the main villains, like, you know, change. I don't think it's as, you know, the person's as compelling as what they did in the original. But overall, I would give this film 8 Fred Bassett's out of 10. And to be honest, I felt this could have been a lot worse than it is, you know. Look at the list of the Japan animations and all the video games that have been adapted to live action audiences for the West. By the West, I should say. You know, you got Dragon Ball Evolution, Fist of the North Star, Street Fighter, Avatar The Last Bender, and they made 2 live action Guyver films, you know, although I do find bits of them quite entertaining. I feel this is the best of a lot of them. So they threw a lot of money at the screen to make this film, and in my opinion make a pretty good film as well. You know, and I feel that's what they have to do with Akira whenever, if ever that gets made into live action, you know, because like this film, that one's been in various states of development for years now. So just them's my opinion anyway. Just what's yours and yours and yours and yours? Let me know down below in the comment section if you've seen the film. What do you think? Also, these things here, these links here, you let me know. You like, subscribe, follow, hashtag, or modern stuff and all that and all that. Just say hello and stuff, and we can have a little talk about this kind of thing if you want to. Like I say, just down below, just tell me everything you want to talk about and so on. Like, subscribe, comment if you like all this. Tell your friends and everything. And in the words of the new Cyrus, send the word.
9, 8, 7, 6,